Hey folks, welcome to episode 25. And you can see we've got our radio laying where it's supposed to lay, and I'm just going through it and checking it. I do have it plugged into the wall outlet at this point, but I do have a problem that I'm trying to troubleshoot. I don't get a lot of volume, so you may not be able to hear this, but I'm not getting as much volume as I should. So I'm going to have to go back underneath and check a couple of resistors and things. I did go through the alignment procedure, and I think I have a pretty good alignment at this point. So I'm picking up stations, local stations, which is good. And this is the antenna that comes with it, so it's a small loop antenna basically. But I'm just not getting the volume. It should be a lot louder at full volume, right? I mean, obviously. So I'm going to do a little digging and figure out what that's all about. But that's where we are. So we're going to go back under there and poke around and see what we can find. I did check all my voltages. So my plate voltages and my grid voltages are all exactly where they need to be. Everything is really cool. I did solder in a 120 ohm resistor in there, so I'm no longer using that decade box, which is the Clarostat. And I think Don asked the question. Yeah, there's some 20 watt resistors in there. I think they're pretty beefy. They're really about 4 inches long and probably an inch in diameter and hollow, wire round. So anyway, let me go back digging in, and I'll come back and let you know what I find. Okay, I haven't had any luck with the volume on this thing, so I'm just doing some rudimentary checks here. So what I'm going to do is test the potentiometer. Make sure it's good. I did it already, but I'm going to do it again. So I basically have my lead connected to one end, and I've got a center on the wiper. And you'll notice I'm using an analog meter because a digital meter can't always keep up with it, so you're not really sure. So we've got the pot all the way turned down. Let's turn it back. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. We're just going to go up very, very slowly. Like that. We're going to come back down slowly. Let's go again slow. Looks like I do have a dead spot there. Let me check my connections. So it looks like there's no middle. Let me go from the other end. Let's see what happens. This is why it's called troubleshooting here, folks. Okay, so now I'm on the other side of the potentiometer, and I'm still in the center on the wiper. Bringing it down. Bringing it down. Okay. Let's go up slowly. Okay, there it is. So it works in that direction. Let's try the other side. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Slowly. Slowly. Nothing. But I get it only when it's wide open on one side. Well, what can we do here? Well, I can try a different potentiometer and see if I get a better result. So let me go pull the wires on this thing and hot wire in a pot and see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, I have a 1 meg pot here, gated wired in. Radio's turned on. That's all the way up. It should be hotter than that. Now I did check, I did an alignment. There's actually 2 lugs underneath the chassis, under the cans. And then there's the 2 cans on top, and then there's a number of other adjustments that you have to make when you do an alignment. I may just run through an alignment again. Maybe I did something wrong. So I'm gonna say the pot is not the issue, because this pot is doing the same thing. So keep experimenting. Be back. Okay, so back to the drawing board here. So first of all, you're seeing the other side of the chassis. It's a little messy. I haven't lead dressed all the wires yet. But as you can hear, the radio is working. I just need to clean it up a little bit. But I still need to figure out why my volume's not so high. So if you look right down here, I'll see if I can zoom in and show you. For those of you that never really did this before, right here, underneath you can see that can, and there's a hole there, and there's an adjustment under there. So I've already gone through that. That's where you do your alignment. So next step is going to be for me to check the resistors, make sure I didn't put an out of value resistor in there. Maybe I put one that was like 100K instead of 100 something. That's quite possible. But my voltages are all good, so I don't think that's the issue. So next two things I'm going to do, I'm going to take a copy of the schematic and I'm going to trace the signal path with a highlighter, and I'm going to check every one of the components in that signal path and then see if I can find something that's not right. So I'm going to do that. I'll be back. Okay, we're going to do a signal trace on this thing and see if we could zero in where the problem is. So just to walk you through what I'm going to do, here's my antenna. Comes into the first converter tube on pin 6, and I should get a relatively weak signal there from a station. I'm going to tune the station in. When it comes out of pin 2, it should be a little bit louder, right? And then it comes in here into the first coil, comes out of the coil, goes into the input of the IF amp, and I should get a louder signal here than I got here. Then it comes out here of pin 2 on the plate, goes into the second coil, then goes into pin 4 of the detector. Now, when you get to the detector, the signal goes from an RF signal to an audio signal. So I'm going to check these first two with an RF setting, and then I'm going to switch and change it to audio, and then I'm going to check the output tube. All right, I'm using an ICO signal tracer. I'll show you what it looks like so you can see it. Let's see if I can get this camera to turn around here. I'm kind of zoomed up and jammed up here. Anyway, you get the idea. So let's get started on this thing. Move this camera up out of the way.
What was that?
I have the ground from the signal tracer connected to the B- rail of the radio, and you'll see I have a station. Okay, I'm going to leave the volume down though. All right, I've got the signal tracer set to RF, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to pin 6. That's where the signal's coming in. Let's see what we get. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's weak. So I am getting it. Okay. Now we're going to go to pin 2. Alright, so we know that converter tube is working. Now we're going to go to the 1U4, again on pin 6, and see what we get there. It should be a pretty loud signal. Put the volume up on this tracer a little bit because I keep lowering it. Okay, and if we go to pin 2, it should be louder. There it is. So we know that the IF amp is working. Now if I go to the 1U5 tube, pin 4, that's going to be where my RF signal goes in, and then it comes out of the plate as an audio signal. So let's go to pin 4. Right there. Okay, so that's nice and loud. So now we're going to change this to an audio setting. We'll plug in our leads. Radio's still on, so we're going to be careful. And we're going to connect our leads. And let me turn the camera off for a minute and do that. This way you're not waiting too long. Actually, that's right here. I'll just do it quick. So this one goes here. This one goes here. This goes to my B-. Turn this on. Change it to audio. Let's wait for it to warm up. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to pin 2 of this 1U5 tube and see what kind of audio we get. Not very loud. That should be louder than that. Alright, so just to show you what I've done, I had a nice strong RF signal coming into pin 4, but I should have something more than what I had coming out of pin 2, the plate of the 1U5. Let's check it one more time to be safe. I got the volume up pretty high here, so that's not good. Now just to be completely sure, we're going to go to the 3V4 output tube, and we're going to go to pin 6, which is the input, and then pin 2. Let's go to pin 6 first. Nothing on pin 6. Let's go to pin 2. So there's our problem. Our problem is between the detector and the output tube. Let's check it one more time. I don't have a lot of volume there. And then if I go to pin 6, I should get something. I'm not. Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. So what's between pin 2 and pin 6? The couplet. Isn't that good? So we're going to check all that out now and see what's going on in there. So I'll be back. Okay, I've decided to end this video here because I'm going to spend the next video troubleshooting the couplet and checking to see if it's connected correctly, and I'm going to have to ohm it out again and check it. I did do that before I installed it, but you never know. So I'm going to end this one here. Next video will be about the couplet that I built and see what's going on there. Alright, you guys have a good night.